right, hello everybody. Steve looks like a realtor right now.
Yeah, exactly. Come and check out this home, folks. Look at all of this property.
That's what, as we're walking on, I'm like, Steve looks like a realtor. Are you guys looking for a new home? Come
Yeah.
over here to Josh Realty and check this out.
So no,
Yeah.
Jeremy's like, you look like a rich person sitting out by your outdoor fireplace. I'm like, well, I'm more like a really poor person because I'm out here because we don't have electricity right now. So no, the Goss household is not in the dire straits. We did pay our bill, but unfortunately, the country club portion of Muskogee is without power right now. So hashtag first world problems, but that's where we're at. So, and
Somebody
to all
must
you
have to
and to
drive.
all you dads out there who did not go ahead and get your mowing done, shame. You should hopefully you got that done before this last batch of rain. So
Yeah,
those
can I
lot of
tell you a
dad points
funny?
out there.
Can I tell you a funny story? The last time I mowed and finished up, the tornado sirens were going off as I was weed
Yeah.
eating, and as one of my neighbors was laughing because I was finished weed eating. They were walking.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least I'm trying to do yard work. They're like, let me get my walk in before we get hit with a tornado. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know which one was stupider. I guess they thought I was, and I thought they were. So, in the
Yeah.
end,
No, I mean,
I did not. So now I
that's
haven't. That was 2 weeks ago.
that is truly what it is. I was actually on a walk yesterday, and everybody was out trying to get some mowing done in the neighborhood, and I was like, look at those idiots trying to mow. It's still too wet. Then I got back to my cul-de-sac, and my other two cul-de-sac neighbors had mowed. So I'm like, Aaron, got to do it. I can't be the yard that wasn't mowed guy. So I got some tracks on the side yard. Didn't get the lot behind me done, but hey, we're in. And Jeremy and I are struggling for content when we're discussing our mowing habits. 2 minutes and 15 seconds in, but
I was about to
Jeremy,
say
let's.
I can probably make it to 5 minutes talking about me weed eating last night, and then thinking I'm just going to try to mow, and then I put ruts in my yard. So now, if anybody knows my dad, they would know that my dad would probably disown me if he saw ruts in my yard right
Oh
now. So I
gosh,
quit.
yeah. No, I had the conversation actually driving home from work with my dad of how he hasn't been able to mow, and that it's wrong that I did mow because I probably killed some grass when I got my side yard, and he's taught me better than that, and I should know better than that. But
I hope you ruin your lawn.
yeah, yeah. So when I start getting some brown spots here, once the 90 degrees kick in, John Wayne, aka Dick Goss, will have told me he knew better and
Uh-huh.
all that. So
Yeah.
my mom just got a knee replacement this last week, and my dad's getting a knee replacement in 2 weeks. So I'm about to have to take over lawn care at my parents' house. So you can guess how much fun that's going to be.
Yeah, I can only imagine what your dad's going to do as you mow the yard. He's
Yeah,
probably going to
that's
be
terrible.
cursing. Yeah,
Yes,
that's not
that's
how I
terrible.
do it. I'm just telling you, but you
It's
just do it how
wrong,
you want to.
wrong, wrong.
Yeah, that's why
But
I never mow
things that
mine.
aren't wrong, Jeremy. Let's we talked about softball quite a bit. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the portal comings and goings that we've had here in softball?
Well, this is good podcasting too, but I didn't really think. I thought we need to go after one starter. I felt like really our offense we're pretty set in every position. The girls that transferred, Hannah Core, I kind of thought saw her leaving. Maya Bland, I thought she is a great softball player and she can probably go somewhere else and play every day. Malloy, I
I
think, is
mean,
just prone to be ready to start. So I think they saw the writing on the
yeah, I
wall on
mean,
that one.
to me that was the deal, right? I mean, you were only going to keep probably
Mm-hmm.
one of those three, and if for no reason other than just me believing in genetics, I probably would have went with Malloy
Yeah.
in that choice. I think the ceiling is higher there.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like with the pitcher we're getting from LSU coming in, I think she can have a higher ceiling than Landry had. And did you see the tweet where Bordy tweeted out, or maybe it was Instagram? I don't know. I'm an old person. I'm on Twitter more than
Yeah.
Instagram, but I still can't get. I still find too much creep for me to follow any like softball girls on Instagram, so I don't do that. So I have to wait till someone that I follow who follows them shares it. And
rest of the 40s and 50-year-old jump on board. All these 40 and 50-year-old men just creeping on these softball girls like a bunch of pervs.
So So anyway, we probably just lost a few followers there by saying that we don't do that. But hashtag not doing that. Anyway, thought it was big that Bordy is planning on being back too. So I do think the pitching stable is getting is improving another year, another time. So to me, we got the one thing I did read. I think I remember who tweeted out. Maybe it was Plank, but OU had the number one player in the portal, and Texas Tech had like the 2, 3, 5, 8 or something like that. So I think it's going to be a lot of OU, Texas Tech with some of the other SEC teams mixed in again next year. I think we're probably back in a lot of the same boat, don't you?
Isn't it funny though? You look at OU and Texas Tech, how they went through the portal, two different avenues really, because Texas Tech's doing it with money, and you know what? Like it's a day and age. I don't get. People want to hate on them for doing it. You know what? That almost worked. They almost won a national championship, but OU's done it on their legacy and Patty Gasso, and that's how they get players. And isn't it funny? And isn't it funny too that LSU's pitcher came on to OU like the day after they got beat out? Do you think that wasn't in place already?
Right. So, well, but it's no different than the football portal or something in the same way either. I mean, there's a reason that the Missouris and the Texas Techs and the Ole Misses have had to pay more than the Bamas and the Georgias. Now, why did Ohio State probably win it last year? Because they paid the most and they're Ohio State, horns down. But that's probably yeah, exactly. Just felt funny when I did my hands like that, a little queasy. But that's probably why, and that's the mix I think that we're all wanting. With our football program, thought it was interesting to hear the sports that are going to be part of revenue sharing. Joe C talked about that. And it's the ones that you think it would be. I guess probably the only thing bad there is we have a really good men's gymnastics team, and it's women's gymnastics and not men's. But Title IX, you had to even that out. And it doesn't mean that those non-revenue sports are going away, but what it does mean is that I thought it was important that Joe Cetus came out and said, what are we going to do? The same thing that everybody in the SEC is going to do. Yeah. And, something Gabe and Teddy talk about this, especially I'm going to give Gabe probably the most credit for this, but those of us and myself included who kind of worry about where's this going? Where's this headed with the House settlement bill and all that? We're in the cool kids club. So we're going to do what the other cool kids are going to do here. We're in the SEC. We're in the position to get the most money. Something that, loyal listeners of this pod know, and they're probably sick of hearing Goss talk about this. We did not get a full share of SEC money this last year, and this coming year we do. So I do think that's going to be a big help for all of our sports, whether that's basketball, football, baseball, all those things. Do you think baseball's done pretty well in the portal as well?
I do.
Have seen some good things there. Main thing for them, I've seen the baseball team get in some hitters, which I think is really important because, pitching, that's kind of like in Skip We Trust. It's kind of like worrying about linebackers with Brent Venables. BV knows linebackers. We're going to be good at linebacker. Skip knows pitching. We're going to be good at pitching. But if we can go get some people with some thump, then I think, I think that's a big thing for baseball. But anything on that, Jeremy, you want to add on either baseball portal or just kind of the win share? Your dog does.
Yeah, my dog has a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
What's funny? What's funny is my family's just outside throwing the football around. Those dogs know where they're at, and they heard breathing, and so that's what they do. God love them. I mean, I'm not going to start going to rant on my dogs on the podcast, but really the softball, I didn't think there was going to be much. Patty obviously had a plan in place of what she was going to do because she goes, I think you guys are going to like who we're getting. So it's like she pretty much she knew she didn't have to do much because you look at the infield, you look at the outfield, it's like everybody pretty much knows who's going to be there. So just a lot of I think when you look at it, you think like, well, we didn't go after another pitcher. I think with these young girls, she really wants to see what they got with them, and she wanted to have one dominant arm. So I think
Yeah.
that's good. But and also too, I'm glad you mentioned the revenue sharing deal. Don't you feel like this is going to kill some of the small schools, small
Oh
sports?
gosh,
Like,
yeah. No, without
I
a
mean, they're
doubt.
going to
I
have
mean,
to. It
no,
sucks
it does.
too. I
No,
mean,
I mean, but I would hate to be, the baseball. I mean, we all saw Murray State cool run to make the College World Series. We saw their facilities and all that stuff. That's probably not going to happen much anymore.
no.
Not. It's going to do away with that. Now, what could be interesting to me is, does this help out some of these like basketball only schools? What does this
Mhm.
do for a Marquette? For a UConn, for some of those places. It could be interesting to
Yeah,
see,
I mean,
kind
Gonzaga's
of, St. I mean, you heard me talk a lot about Calipari and St. John's and, all those things. But that's all tied to conference and what conferences are going to bring the most to conferences with football, you know.
yeah.
And does somebody, let's say like Northwestern decides in the Big Ten, you know what? We're not going to pump any money into football. We're going to pump all of it into basketball, or what if somebody decides, because I don't think you're going to buy your way into football, but what if somebody even in the SEC, what if Vanderbilt just says, screw it, we're just going to be the best baseball program. We're just going to pump all
Mhm.
of our money there. It will be interesting to see how all that spreads out. But no, without a
Yeah.
doubt, Jeremy, I think it is kind of a death blow for some of those smaller schools, the
Yeah.
non-revenue smaller schools sports.
And you hate some of that too, especially with my daughter's going to be a freshman in high school, which is scary. And like we're already talking like colleges and where we're going to play. It's like, well, now back in the day, it would just be like, well, I can go to this small D2 school. It's like now the money is just not going to be there. So a lot of these schools are going to shut down some of these programs, and it's just sad that that's kind of
No,
the
it
life
is.
that you
It
live.
is.
So
And I've gotten to know, being there in Keys, I've gotten to know a lot of people at Northeastern and talking to some of their, former football coach, former softball coach, who I'm buddies with both of those guys. And just to hear them talk about some of the things they were already dealing with even before all of this, just on what small school, the thin margins that small school athletics has to work on anyway, so
yeah,
definitely
it is.
definitely a tough deal.
Hey, and
With the
real quick, I
go
just
ahead.
want to mention this because my daughter pitched her Bria, who was on is I can say friend of the pod because she's been on here.
Hey,
So
there we go.
she
A
pitched.
much better received co-host than I am, so no doubt
she
about that. I
she
mean,
pitched
y'all
her
did get me
first.
out of the teens this week, guys, but still minuscule compared to Brian. So
Maybe if we don't be on here as long, people will be like, "Oh, they're on. What is it? 15 minutes? I can listen to that for 15 minutes."
I can look at Goss's ugly mug for that long.
I
Doesn't
mean,
he
and
have
also,
eyes? Open your
hey,
eyes, Goss.
and also too, sponsorship should be coming our way. Seeing that Goss can't even afford electricity for crying out loud. So,
Come on, guys. Always about
but
keeping the lights on. There's no lights on. Look inside the Casa de la Gossa there, folks. It's dark. It's a dark days are here, my friend.
but she
Yeah.
pitched her first two games in high school for summer league, and she's started for the ones, and it's 2-0 right now. So
All right. That
she
is awesome.
and she beat Coeta, which nothing against if anybody from Coeta, nothing against you guys, but they went to state last year and she beat them. So
Awesome. Well,
needs to say,
congratulations.
yeah.
Truly
So
heard your mother's genetics in action right there. So,
absolutely, definitely
yeah.
not mine. So that's what I
Yeah.
told her. I'm like, do what? Just pull some of your mom's athletic ability, not your dad's. Your dad's a quitter.
Exactly.
But no, I mean,
no,
hey,
big shout out.
kind of transition a little bit to basketball. Kind of impressed with what Porter's doing in the
Oh,
offseason. I
dude,
mean,
it's great. It's just been,
he's
it's like
he's
I
plugging
keep going
holes
back to
where
that, that conversation he had with Bob Prisbillo right after the season. I think it's in the hallway there after the NCAA tournament of just, we've got to win April and May.
mm-hmm,
And they did. And,
yeah.
I'm just really, really excited for hoops. We're going to spend a lot of time in the next few weeks. Jeremy and I will getting us ready for football season, and obviously that. But you guys know we love OU hoops here as well, and super excited for that. The people who really know college basketball have all talked about what a great class that was. But also, don't be stunned when you just see the average idiot put out a preseason way too early top 25 and the
Yeah.
Sooners aren't on there. Don't be shocked when we're picked 11th or 12th in the SEC. But people who know ball, the ball knowers, are very impressed with what we have brought in, and I am as well. And
Yeah.
so we're really excited for what Porter and Jenny are both bringing in basketball. I think it's going to be some fun times at the LNC this year.
Yeah, I wanted, and that's why I wanted to give a shout out, because it's like, and give a shout out to Trae Young, because it seems like it started going up from the minute that
it did. It's kind of like we've been on this positive ride. It's like OU athletics has just kind of been on a pretty positive ride ever since the Trae Young and the Jim Nagy things both happened. It's kind of like all the positive momentum has been going there. Speaking of positive momentum, I think we probably need to end. I think any Oklahoma pod would be wrong to not end talking a little Thunder. So hope, no offense, not trying to wish anyone ill, but I hope Tyrese Halliburton's calf is a no-go. The only thing scary about that is the world's greatest player, TJ McConnell, will probably play more minutes, even though TJ McConnell has the measurables of me. He is absolutely unguardable. But those 6'1" white guys, they're really tough apparently, but really hope the Thunder can close it out in 6.
I do not want to come home for a game 7. I don't care.
No, because it's just scary. And Indiana is totally is it Jason? Is, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, just absolutely won't die. It's just one of those of like, please, dear God, just quit. The analogy that I've made is, and Jeremy and I are going to talk like we're big-time athletes here, but Jeremy and I were varsity athletes. Jeremy and I didn't play a lot of JV in our day. And, you would be in practice, you're going through stuff, and the JV kids in basketball would just be trying so hard. You'd be like, dude, I'm better than you. Just calm down. Just freaking calm down. I'm better than you. Do I need to prove it every stinking possession? Calm down. And that's what playing the Pacers is like. You just want to be like, guys, calm down. We're better than you. Calm down. You can't beat us. We're better than you. I will prove it when I have to. And they've had to. And I would love to be J-Dub's agent right now. But, lots of great things, positive vibes for the Thunder. Hopefully next time we're talking about cool stuff that happened at the parade.
Well, and I've gained a lot of respect for Indiana.
Rick Carlisle's a heck of a coach.
I've always loved Rick Carlisle. He's beat our butts. It seems like he is like our kryptonite. But one thing I will say is I did this when the Braves won the World Series in 2021. I start looking ahead to be like, I want to enjoy this forever. So I started thinking can you imagine when Presti's not here?
This is the first thing in state history we could really fully celebrate together. It's the biggest thing in Oklahoma sports since the Sooners won the national championship in 2000. But unfortunately, about 40% of the state roots for that team in orange. So, we've got, I'd say 97% of Oklahoma are Thunder fans. So, we could all be under the same banner here. Crips, Bloods, everyone walking together here.
Well, and
rooting
don't
for the Thunder.
Watching this finals, don't you think that no team's perfect, but he has built a team that Sam Presti is pretty close to like he went and got Caruso and
getting Caruso and Hartenstein is exactly the thing they were short-come. Because here's the deal. We don't win this series without Caruso. Now, I did think Caruso was actually a little bit rough in the last game. Thought that's probably the worst game of the series. But the most pivotal game, game 4, Caruso was just unbelievable in that game. And there's no way we get past Denver without Hartenstein. So, kudos again to Sam. Kudos just to the fans for the experience. It's just been an awesome ride. Hopefully we close it out here on Thursday night. Hopefully we do, but if not, I think it'll be the hottest ticket in Oklahoma history for Game 7. So I can't even afford electricity, so I'm not going to be there. But
it makes me excited to see what they're going to do in the off season though, because they have, I think what they say, 4 first-round picks.
Yeah.
It's
exciting, but something and Jeremy just mentioned this. This is something I've gotten better at. Like live in the moment. Let's just be happy with one. Not worry about the old 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not going to be LeBron at the
Might have lost Steve a little bit. He is outside, but I think what he was trying to say is you live in the moment, live and enjoy it now, because it's hard to win championships. Can you
See,
hear
if
me?
you don't live in the moment, then boom, that's what happens. You get knocked stinking off. So I think that's the good Lord saying I probably need to get off here. But any
Yes.
final Sooner thoughts there, Jeremy?
Man, no, I just we've got a lot of stuff to unpack before the season starts in football, because that's our next spot. So I'm excited for it. But let's end it on that. I know that I'm pretty. We got to 20 minutes, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, hey,
But
soonercast@gmail.com. Send us if you've got questions. We've got time for a couple Q&A. A couple Q&A episodes here before we really get into football. As we get into later July, we'll kind of get really into the football preview stuff. And so that is coming real soon. Probably some guests coming before football season starts as well. But again, soonercast@gmail.com.
yes, give us a subscribe to us on YouTube. Get some of our subscribers up. Follow us on Apple and Spotify, and hopefully, see next time we'll be talking about Thunder Championship.
Yeah, and look, guys, we got to sponsor me, because look, no electricity here for the Goss for Goss. So hopefully I get some electricity back. Hopefully the Thunder pull it out on Thursday, and hopefully Bo Bentley decides to be a Sooner real soon. Hopefully all those things are happening by the next time we talk. So have a great one, everybody. Boomer
Boomer Sooner.